What is up, you guys? So it's like 11:30 a.m. right now. I should totally be asleep because I have work tonight, but I slept a lot these past like 2 days that I've been off. So I'm up and ready to shoot the vlog for you guys that I told you I was gonna make. If you saw my post on the community tab, then you already know what this vlog is. If you didn't see it and you're wondering what the hell I'm about to talk about, well, I'm going to tell you right now. So as you guys know, I was job hunting for the longest time. Now I'm working at Amazon. People always want to know how I work full-time with cystic fibrosis, you know. Do I get any special accommodations because I'm sick? Is it hard to work? How do I balance my medicines and treatments? You know, how do I make everything work? So that's what we're here for today. I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into this, and because so many people ask this question all the time, constantly, I'm gonna go ahead and answer the one I get the most from everybody, and that is, why do I not get disability or SSI? Why am I working when I could get those things and get Medicaid and basically have all my shit paid for? I just want to go ahead and backtrack a little bit before someone watching this who may be on disability or SSI or Medicaid and all that, before anybody gets fucking butthurt, because people like to get fucking butthurt over anything nowadays. The answer to that question is I do not feel that I need those things, because I don't feel like just because you're born with an illness that you are automatically owed something. Now, let me back up really quick. There are some people who have cystic fibrosis, who have many, many illnesses, who cannot work. They absolutely cannot. They for various reasons, they just can't work. And for those people, disability, SSI, Medicaid, they are absolutely great, amazing programs. And if you can't work because you have a disability, then yes, you know, those programs are great. But I know personally a lot of people with CF that they could work. You know, they have lungs that could totally go to work, and they don't go in the hospital that often. They really don't have, they're not that symptomatic. And they would rather sit around and they would rather collect free money from the government and the benefits just because they're sick. And see, here's the thing about it. I had to be on SSI and Medicaid throughout most of my life growing up, because most jobs you don't get benefits immediately. You don't immediately get insurance. And so, you know, usually it's like 90 days before you even can qualify for the insurance plan, and I obviously couldn't go 90 days without any sort of insurance having cystic fibrosis. And up until my homeboy, Barack Obama, y'all fucking boomers may talk all this shit about him, but let me tell you something. When Obamacare went into effect, he made it to where I could buy health insurance through the marketplace, and they could not deny me because I had a pre-existing condition, cystic fibrosis. So I used to get shit from people all the time about, oh, must be nice not have to work, herba-derba, herba-derba. I heard that shit constantly. But then these same fucking boomers that want to talk shit about Obama and all that and all the bad he did, that I finally am able to work, and they're like, oh, well, Obama shouldn't have put in Obamacare. Who really cares about pleasing boomers nowadays? Nobody. And here's the thing, you can work if you're getting SSI, but you can only make X amount of dollars. And the way that program works is, even if you are under the X amount of dollars that they say, they will still send you reviews after reviews after reviews. And reviews are stacks of papers about this thick that you have to fill out by hand that basically explains that, yes, I am still sick. Yes, I still need these benefits. Which is absolutely fucking mind-blowing to me that you have to say that when you have a chronic illness. Chronic means it's never going away. It's always gonna be there. Unless someone magically makes a Houdini cure and poof, I'm better, it's always gonna be there. So anytime I would work being on SSI, I would end up getting reviewed, and then they would take, even if I didn't hit the limit, they're gonna take money from your check. Basically, whenever I would work, because at the time I was just minimum wage, entry-level jobs, because I didn't have any experience, because I had never worked. They would take away the money, so essentially I was working just to get the money back that I was already getting. And then if you hit zero, then they take away your benefits. They're like, never mind, you're healthy enough to work, piss off, you don't get these anymore. So, I always said the minute I was somehow cured or something changed where I could work and make as much money as I wanted, I would take those papers, those disability papers, those Medicaid papers, I would take it to those office and I would shove it up the assholes of all the people who worked at that godforsaken building. I didn't shove any papers up any assholes, but as soon as Obamacare went into effect and I knew that I could work, when I talked to Compass, which is a program that's part of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation that helps you guide your way and navigate your way through the insurance world. Once they kind of showed me everything, the lay of the land, I called them and I was like, I want to cancel everything. And of course they're like, you know what that means. You want to cancel all your benefits. Yes, take them all, burn them all. I don't want them. No, not happening. I buy my insurance through the marketplace. I pay a premium every month for my insurance, and I'm on a lot of patient assistance programs like for the Vertex Med, for the Trikafta, and for all that helps offset the cost. So really it works wonderfully. I know I went on a rant, coming back full circle, why I don't have those benefits. I don't need them. I have cystic fibrosis. Yes, I am going to get sick. Yes, it's gonna be hard some days, but guess what? Life is hard. Get a helmet. If you can work. Now, if you can work, there is no reason that you should not work. You should not look at benefits and be like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit on my ass and collect benefits. No, don't do that. You're selling yourself short. It's a great program for the people who need it, but for me, I can work, I can bust my ass. I was raised pushing myself, so I don't know the word quit or that I can't do it. If you can do it, I can do it. And so, I don't need it. I don't want it. That's why whenever I was looking for work and I was really stressed out about job hunting, I would get so many messages from all these people like, get on disability. Why aren't you on disability? Get on disability. I don't want the government's free motherfucking money for being sick. I don't want any pity for being sick. I don't want any special treatment for being sick. Yes, I have cystic fibrosis. Yes, it sucks. But you know what? I wake up every day. I do all my therapies. I kick the fucking walls down like the Kool-Aid man, and I kick ass. So, for the people who need the program, it is 100% amazing. But for people like me who can get out, who can push themselves, who can work, then no, I am not. And if you stay on those programs when you don't need those programs, you're a part of the problem. You're why people who really need those programs can't get on those programs, because all the people who are just sitting around collecting benefits because they're too lazy to go to work, that's what happened. That is why I don't get disability or SSI or Medicaid, because the very short answer, the simple answer is I don't need it. Oh, hey, hi, we're in somewhere different all of a sudden. So for some reason, the next little video clip that I recorded that was supposed to go on the tail end of what I just said, Premiere will not pull it up. Funny is it pulls up all the rest that I just shot fine, but I just wanted to add to the end of what I just said. There may be a time in my life where CF progresses and I get so sick that I need those things. That's why I want to work and I want to be 100% independent and do everything I possibly can while my health allows it. Because there may come a day where I have to be back on those programs when I can't work, when I am so sick that I can't get out of bed. But until that day comes, I am going to work and I'm going to push myself, and there's nobody that's going to convince me otherwise. Now that I answered that big one, we're gonna jump on and start answering some of the questions that you guys asked me. This one is from Trista Turner. She said, is Amazon's sick policy able to be adjusted and tailored, made around your CF? If not, Jeff Bezos needs awareness. You are a young man with a chronic illness working and the system needs to accommodate that. Yes, you know, in a perfect world, every company and business would be like, you know what, you have a chronic illness, we get it. But that's not how a business works. I don't expect any special accommodations or anything to be tailor-made for CF. And that's what a lot of people, younger people, and a lot of parents message me asking about their kids going into the workforce. That's something that you have to get through your head. That the world doesn't give a damn that you have CF. That's a little harsh, but that's just how it is. Here's how Amazon's sick policy works. You can go in and you can't leave anytime you want or anything like that, but like whenever I have to get my gallbladder, whenever we finally get this surgery taken out, I can take a medical leave, and because I have a chronic illness, I can give them all my papers that show, yes, I have CF, yeah, I have to get this done and all that, and for the future, I'll be able to do that again. And so if I have to be in the hospital for X amount of times, then you can give those papers and you won't get fired. You won't get paid, obviously, because you're not working, but you won't get fired for your missing days. You just go on like a medical leave, but it's more than just a regular leave. It's specially tailored for people with chronic illnesses. But do I believe all companies need to accommodate people with chronic illnesses? Yes and no. I feel like Amazon does that, but also you kind of have to realize what you're getting into. I knew when I took this job at Amazon, it was 12-hour shifts, that I was gonna be busting my ass for 12 hours, picking stuff up that's heavy, pushing stuff, running upstairs, and that's what I like. It's basically, I get to go to the gym, you know, for work. And while like my bosses and a lot of people that I work with, they know that I have CF, I don't ever use CF to, I don't expect them to change their whole company policy and how they work and treat me any different because I have CF. They do have programs that help you out, even the Amazon insurance. Any drug that's for a chronic condition, the Amazon insurance pays for it for free. It doesn't matter. If it's on their approved list of medications that someone with a chronic illness needs, like for every day, they'll pay for it, no questions asked, 100% free. And so yes, Amazon, the Amazon sick policy it can help out people who are sick, but Amazon is also a hard-ass job. If you go in for a shift and all of a sudden you can't hack it because of your condition and you can't give them warning, you're gonna burn your UPT, which is your unpaid time, and if you go into the negative of that, you're fired. And that's just how things work. The world is not made to accommodate everything for a chronic illness. And I feel like the more people who accept that and the more people that get a mindset of they are not their illness, it's gonna help you out in the long run. That doesn't mean that there shouldn't be like certain accommodations for people with sicknesses, but I'm not expecting every job to cater to me. That's not how the world works. So, is Amazon's sick policy able to be adjusted and tailor-made around my CF? Yes and no. It is to a reasonable degree, but I don't get any sort of like extended bathroom breaks or anything like that, and you shouldn't expect that either whenever you go to work for whoever you may go to work for. Tiana Faust asks how you handle a coughing fit while at work. I just cough. I have an inhaler with me at all times, and I also have my nebulizer in the car. So if it ever got completely out of hand, like I couldn't get myself stopped with just my inhaler, I would just tell my manager, and either I would go get or they would go get my nebulizer out of the car, and I would just go to AmCare, which is Amazon's like little mini clinic they have in the warehouse, knock out a treatment, go right back to work. Okay, these are multiple questions, but they're good. Reagan Leroy, my questions revolve around food and medications. 1, do you pack your lunch? Last I remember, before the whole Cystic Size Me project, you were doing a pescatarian diet. How's that going? Are you just eating the cafeteria? 2, how would you do a treatment, take medication if you needed to during the workday? Night, would you just go home? 3, do you ever get shit on by management or made fun of by coworkers for being sick? Personally experienced both of these and it sucks ass. I'm gonna go ahead and address number 3 first. No, I have never got shit on by management or coworkers for being sick. Whenever my gallbladder flared up, my manager Sam was actually amazing because I was trying not to burn my UPT so I could get another position. Obviously had to burn it. The UPT won't refill until January because it was something that just happened suddenly and I had to leave work. And I hadn't, filled out the forms for any of like the medical leave stuff for chronic illnesses, so I had to. But he did everything in his power to try to make it to where I couldn't burn it. We went to HR. He even offered to go to the ER with me. So no, my management and any of my coworkers, they've never made fun of me for being sick here or at any other job I've worked. And if they did, I would immediately go and be on their ass, or I would just punch them in the fucking throat. Like one or the other, that would happen. Yeah, it sucks that you've experienced these, but I don't know, maybe it's the tattoos, maybe it's just I'm very blunt and very like in your face and high energy. I don't really say alpha because that's just weird, but I feel like I'm kind of a dominant personality and I don't really get run over. I don't run into a lot of the things that a lot of people with chronic illnesses run into as far as people making fun of them or giving them shit. I was bullied whenever I was younger, but then I learned how to fight, and after that I mean, if someone wants to give me shit, first of all, I'm gonna go to the higher ups and I'm gonna try to get them in trouble or fired for, you know, for harassing me based on my illness. And if the higher ups don't want to do anything, well, you know, testing, 1, 2, talking to the microphone, baby. All right, back to question number 1. Do you pack your lunch? Yes. While I could eat in the cafeteria, it is expensive, and they don't really have a bunch of stuff there. For me, it's way easier to go to the store, and usually I'll meal prep like different meats and stuff. I really like the microwavable rice packs, or like the mac and cheese bowls that you just put in the microwave. I try to cook meals as often as I can to bring with me, just because it's easier. But I also, even if I don't bring meals, I'll bring those things that I just talked about, really easy microwave stuff that I can pop in, boom, be done with. because cafeteria is really expensive and they don't really have anything that great in there. The main thing that I buy in cafeteria is drinks and Red Bull. That's really the only thing. And for the pescatarian diet, no. Whenever animal protein was not in my diet, it worked out good at first, but then I started dropping weight like crazy. And after I put animal protein back into my diet, my weight went up. So I'm hoping one day to go back because I still want to cut out meat. But one, I don't have the money to maintain the calorie count and the diet that I need to have a no meat because it is quite expensive. I mean, for someone who's normal, it's not that bad, but for someone like me who needs 3,000 calories normally to like maintain my weight, I try to get 4,000 to 5,000 now that I'm working. It's very hard to do that without meat and with just going with completely vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, you know, options. It's hard, and I'm hoping one day that I'll have the money to do it. But just like most things in this country, if you don't have the money for it, you are screwed. And how would I do a treatment / take medication if I needed to during the workday? I take my medication all the time during the workday. My Trikafta and my evening meds, I bring it with me, and it depends on my schedule, but either first break or second break in the cafeteria, I just take it right there. If I needed to do a treatment, I have the stuff in my car, I would just go to my car and do it, or go to my car and then bring it inside. It's really it's no big deal. You know, I would straight up just bring my treatment stuff into the cafeteria, vest and all, and do it if I needed to, because I don't worry about what people think of me. I don't worry about what people think about seeing me take pills or doing treatments or whatever. If I need to do a therapy that contributes to my health, I'm gonna do it. I don't care what people say, and you shouldn't either. We're sick, that's not our fault. And if anybody has anything bad to say about it, I'm telling you, just right here, punch them in the throat. They can't talk shit if they can't breathe. There's Stacy Mounts. So usually when you start a new job, it can take months before you earn sick time or insurance. How are you handling that, especially with the cost of Trikafta and needing surgery soon? So I still currently have my Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance that I buy through the marketplace. I am actually waiting on a call right now from Compass, which is the CF Foundation's kind of patient assistance line that helps you navigate insurance, because benefits start day one with Amazon. So from the first day that I stepped into Amazon as a full-time employee, I was eligible for the benefits. The only thing is I don't know if Amazon's insurance is good enough to cover my medications and what I need. Because just because they have good insurance that would be suitable for a normal person doesn't mean it can be suitable for someone with CF. My Blue Cross Blue Shield and along with my patient assistance programs, they all kind of work together, and it's been great. You know, I pay, it differentiates with the plans I get, how much I pay, but I usually pay anywhere between $200 to $300 a month for insurance. And I get, people are like, wow, that's really expensive, but it's, for me, for how well it works for me, it's not that bad. For Amazon's insurance, it would be way less than that. It wouldn't even be like $100 a month. So I'm currently having my caseworker look into everything, and if the Amazon insurance can still work with my patient assistance, copay assistance programs, and it can all be good, then I'm going to ditch the marketplace plan and go to Amazon insurance, because I would love to pay less than $100 for health insurance and all that good stuff. Regardless, I'm going to use Amazon's dental and vision plans because they are really good, and you don't need the health side of it, the medical, if you don't want it. So as soon as I hear from my caseworker, I'm gonna make the decision on the insurance plans. But Yes, Amazon insurance starts day one, soon as you walk in. So if you're planning on working for Amazon, you get all these benefits immediately. So it's really rad. Just some nobody asked. Hi Morgan, just wanted to let you know that I've been following you and your journey for quite some time now, and for someone who's also fighting an ongoing disease, your videos have really helped me to pick up my spirits, and I wish you the very best in life and big success with Trikafta. Thank you so much. Your question would be, if I ever have days when I can't go to work because of CF, and if I do, whether my workplace is understanding of that. So kind of going back to what I touched on in the first question, that would not fly. If I knew that I was getting sick or something, like obviously emergencies happen. Emergencies are emergencies. And if it's something like super crazy, yeah, they're gonna be understanding of that. And because because they have their medical leave and all that, and because I have a chronic illness moving forward, I believe I wouldn't have to burn my UPT, but I also may have to burn my UPT. So they are understanding of it, but the managers at Amazon kind of have their hands tied with a lot of the policy, because when you work for that, I mean, Amazon rules the world. Jeff Bezos is basically the ruler of the fucking world by this point. And when you work for a company that big, you kind of have to fall in line with their policies. So they would be understanding, but there is still a possibility that I would have to burn UPT or possibly get a write-up for something like that. Obviously, I would never just not show up. If I felt like I was gonna get sick, I would let my managers know, because with CF, you can feel sicknesses coming on. I rarely have days where I wake up and I'm just so absolutely sick I can't do anything. I have plenty of days where I wake up and I'm coughing, having really bad lung days, but I don't consider those a reason to call out of work. I just do my treatments and I go to work and I push myself. That's how I do with anything, whether it's work, climbing mountains, anything. I just push myself. I can kind of get inside my head and kind of push myself past my limits. So they'd be understanding, but I also could probably get a write-up if, you know, for some reason I woke up and couldn't show up to work because of CF. Because while they are understanding, it is still a business, it is still a giant corporation company, and honestly, you're not that important to them. It sucks to say that, but that's just how it is. Trez22, were you open and honest about having CF, or only mention it if you had to? No. So when you get hired, they usually send you a form. You get a couple like of your standard forms. That's, are you a veteran? You know, what race are you? And then, are you disabled? Yes. You always put that. Yes, you have a disability. And whenever I work for any company, I always let my managers know, hey, I have CF. And I kind of run them through what could happen, but for the most part I tell them I'm good. I push myself through, and it actually kind of helps me because I give them a little bit of that inspirational sprinkles on top. I'm like, yeah, I have this chronic illness, but you know what? I push myself, and I'm gonna be the best employee you got. So they see that I have an illness, but then they see me bust my ass at work and run laps around the normal people, and they're like, shit, I like that guy. So, no, you never lie, because if something did happen, they can see from the jump that I did check that I had a disability or a chronic illness. That covers you legally. So, I know a lot of people talk to me about this, and they say that they lie to their bosses or lie to management, and they never mention their illness unless they have to. Do not do that, because if you do that, if you answer, no, I don't have a disability or a chronic illness, if you tell your bosses and your management, no, I don't have this, and for some reason you get into the company and something happens because of your disability, you do not have ground to stand on, because they're gonna look and they're gonna be like, this doesn't say you have an illness, and they're gonna be like, you never told me, and you are going to get screwed so hard. So I know a lot of people feel like management and these and employers are gonna look down on you for being ill. And yes, it can happen. Yes, there are dickheads in the world, but don't lie about it, because if something happens, you aren't going to have a leg to stand on because you lied. Lying is not good. Do not lie. That should just be the lesson of the day. Do not lie. Be truthful, because legally you are going to get fucked if you lie to your employer about not having a disability when you have one. Catherine Chiswick. I don't know how to pronounce that. That's like a silent Z. Is it Chiswick? Something like that. Anyways, what's the biggest struggles working while having CF? How do you manage that struggles? Do you worry about illnesses that others might have? The biggest struggle with having CF is probably just not being able to breathe as well as everyone. That's probably the biggest thing, is because, you know, you get winded easier and stuff like that. And obviously when you get sick, it's hard, but like I kind of said at the first of this video, I have always been one to push myself. I don't look at CF as an I can't do this thing. Like, I just look at it as just another obstacle, and I'm going to push myself even harder and run laps around the normal people and make them look bad. And so that's, I mean, the biggest struggle is definitely just my lungs not being able to keep up. That's a huge struggle in getting sick, but for the most part, I don't let it hold me back, because even if I did say I had to get IV antibiotics or whatever, I have my port, so they're just gonna slap a needle in my chest, cover it up, and I'm gonna go to work with it. And then after I'm out of work, I'll hook myself up. You know, that's just how it goes. I don't let it hold me back. And do I worry about illnesses? No. I have never been worried about illnesses, because here's the thing. I grew up with a very germophobic mother who was very like, oh my God, bubble boy, never get germs. And I was sick all the time. But when I got older and I started like playing in bands, going to parties, sharing drinks with people and all that, I never get sick. I'm not saying to go out and touch germy stuff and then rub your face. I still have a thing of hand sanitizer I always keep with me when I'm in public, but I don't really worry about like colds, flus, anything like that. Because, I mean, if I'm gonna get sick, I'm gonna get sick. But I found that if I don't worry about it too much, and I'm not like overly paranoid, I don't seem to get sick that often. Because I know a lot of people say herd immunity isn't a thing with CF, but I call bullshit on that. I think too many people with CF kind of isolate themselves too much, and their immune system never really gets challenged. Here's the thing, for most people with cystic fibrosis, we aren't like, our immunity isn't compromised. It's just if we get sick, it's way harder to get better, and it can do damage to our lungs. I think that's what a lot of people in the CF community don't get that, or if they read about CF, they don't understand. There are some people with cystic fibrosis who do, you know, have compromised immune systems, especially if you, after you've had transplant, you're on medications that, you know, pretty much leave you open to anything. But just regularly having CF, most of us, our immune systems work just as well as anybody else's. It's just if we get sick with anything like a cold, flu, or whatever, it's going to absolutely kick our asses. See, Maddie said, hey, hope you're doing fine, smiley face. I just hope you're taking the advice of a doctor or health professional concerning this, and also your medication with Trikafta, about the whole switching day-night. I'm a pharmacy student, and I'm kind of paranoid about this subject. Lots of love and support. Well, if it was up to my doctor, I would sit around and never go to work and live in a bubble, so no, I don't take his advice. He also told me not to mountain climb. I don't take his advice. He's told me not to do a lot of stuff. I don't take his advice. I'm very in tune with my body, and I know what I can do, and a doctor's job is to try to be as safe and as cautious as possible. That's not my job. Trikafta is very easy. I just take my morning dose in the morning and then my night dose, you know, at night. And that's that. For other medications, it is a little weird because I have some that make me sleepy that I have to take before I go to sleep. And then I have this stretch of being off for 3 days where I sleep normal hours, and then the times I work, I don't sleep normal hours. Some of my medications do get mixed up, and I do go back and forth between when I take them. But here's the thing. You said you're a pharmacy student, and with anybody who's in the medical field, you see things very textbook, and that's not a bad thing. That's you know, how doctors, pharmacy, like nurses, that's how everyone sees things. It's very textbook. But what you read, like as a pharmacy student, what you read in a book at most of the time, I'm gonna say like 80% of the time, doesn't apply to real life. Because let me tell you, I get it, you're a pharmacy student, you go to school for this, but here's the thing, the people with the chronic illnesses who have been battling these things and have been taking medication since day one, you're never going to know their body better than they do. And that's not a bad thing. That's not like a dog at you at all, but I have a lot of, you know, nurses, pharmacy people, all that, who always talk to me, and they'll hear kind of some of my stuff that I do, and they're like, oh no, you're not supposed to do it that way. I've been doing it that way for years, because with a chronic condition, time schedules and all that, a lot of times those don't work. Like, you can't just stick to one thing, and you're occasionally gonna miss medications and all that, and that's just kind of how it goes. So yes, I am doing it responsibly because I know, but if I told you my med schedule, you'd probably have a little bit of a fit because it's not really a schedule. But it works for me, and like I said, I know my body. I've been doing it for years, and yeah, but for the most part, I do listen to my doctor about the important stuff and all that. But for a lot of things, I'm pretty hard-headed, and I just kind of do things my way. But it's done me well so far. And that is it for this little questionnaire about working with cystic fibrosis. I hope I answered some of the questions you guys have had. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Like I said at the first of the video though, if you have an illness and you cannot work, it is just impossible for various reasons, whether it's a physical illness, mental illness, and you absolutely can't go to work, do not think lowly of yourself. It's nobody's fault. Like, you are not less of a person because you don't go to work. And anybody who tells you that, tell them to go fuck themselves, or like I've said repeatedly, throat punch. The throat punch is such an effective method for people who talk shit because they can't speak after you punch them in the throat. I don't feel like I need it, and so I don't get on those programs because I don't want to be taking up a space that somebody else could have. And so if you can't go to work, you're still a person. Like you're like no less than anybody else. So don't think that. Don't feel bad. Don't let anyone else make you feel bad, because if they do, they're just dicks. Like, I know I can push myself. I know my body can take it, and going to work for me is not just going to work. I'm not just clocking in and getting a paycheck. I think about all the people with CF who can't work. I've known so many people in my life that's been their goal, that in life is just to be able to go to work and to be normal, to do normal things that people do every day and they take for granted. So yeah, while I wish that I could just stay home all the time and never work and have some amazing job that pays a ton of money, it's not how things are. I gotta go to work. But whenever I go to work, I'm not bummed about it. Like, I'm not like, oh my God, it's another day at work. I am thankful and I am grateful that I can go to work, because I know so many people who wish they could, or I know so many people who have died, and I have to keep going for them, because I feel like if I just sat at home and didn't do anything, I'm not setting a very good example. And that's what I want to do. I want to set good examples and show people that you are not just CF. You know, you don't have to sit around and just take it lying down, you know. CF sucks. And working with CF, you know, it does suck. It's hard. But the thing is, the way that I was raised is it's not about when you get knocked down, because everybody's going to get knocked down. It's about getting right back up onto your feet, cocking your fist back to the world, and slamming it into some fucking jaws and doing work. Alright? That's how I do. Thank you all for checking out this vlog. If you enjoyed what you see and you want to keep up with me and working and CF and Trikafta and all the other things I talk about, please subscribe to the channel, then hit the like button on this video, and make sure you hit the little bell after you subscribe so you don't miss any notifications moving forward. That's it for this one, you guys. Like I said, if there's anything else you want me to answer, or any other topics or ideas for videos you may want to see, leave them in the comments below. I'm always reading, always looking, always getting ideas. Sometime this week or either next week, I'll be posting my next Trikafta update, letting you guys know what's different, how it's been affecting me into week 3. And let me tell you, there's been some amazing changes. It is absolutely awesome. You don't want to miss that. But thank all of you guys so much for hanging out, for watching the video. As always, you're all amazing, and I love you all. I will see you on the next one. Morgan, out of here.